Oh, hell nah. You know, it's one thing to hear a creator like myself tell you guys, hey, 2K says that the VC that you buy with your real life money is not your property. But it's quite another thing to hear the lawyers that represent 2K in a recent lawsuit say VC is not the plaintiff's property, but instead in-game VC are fictions created by game publishers. We about to get into all the details. Y'all be sure to drop a like and drop a sub if you can. You guys can help us get one step closer to 100K subscribers. As you guys know, I don't like to waste your time, so let's just get right into it. This was first brought to my attention by Herb Scribner, feature reporter for the Washington Post. And he kindly linked this article from GameFile.news. And it says, Take-Two and publishing label 2K Games are hitting back at a lawsuit that argues they are stealing from NBA 2K players. I reported on this quite a while back. It goes on to say that 2K is stealing from NBA 2K players who buy virtual currency for those games and then lose it when 2K shuts down the servers. As you guys know, 2K usually shuts down the servers that are 2 years dated. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2 years. Like, I'm almost certain it's NBA 2K22 servers that got shut down. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But the issue that was raised in court is that if players are still playing these older games and they still have the option to pay IRL money for a virtual currency, players feel like 2K shouldn't be able to shut down those servers. They render that VC useless. It doesn't transfer over from game to game. So is that not considered that? 2K is arguing that that's not even your property in the first place. As they continue on, it says VC is not the plaintiff's property. And that's what the company's lawyer said in a request to dismiss the entire lawsuit. Now, keep it a buck with me, y'all. Do you feel like if you paid, say, $100 for VC on 2K22 in, say, mid-December, and then you guys find out a week later that 2K is shutting down the servers for the game you just paid your IRL money for? Naturally, but sadly and unfortunately, a lot of players feel like if they paid their IRL money, that transaction should be secure. You should be able to retain your virtual currency. Unfortunately, that's not the case with 2K, as they do not allow that virtual currency to transfer from game to game. So a lot of players pretty much just waste their money. Now, when we talked about this once before, I was thinking that it'd probably be in 2K's best interest and the best interest of the player base to let us transfer that virtual currency over, or at the very least, before the servers are shut down, there should be like a cap or a limit to how much IRL money you could actually spend on 2K. So pretty much 2K is willing to take your money and then close the door right in your face. The article goes on to say, instead, in-game VC are fictions created by game publishers, and that is such a cold statement. And I'm glad that this was able to go public. It goes on to say that in-game VC are fictions created by game publishers subject to the publisher's terms of service and user agreement. And that's exactly what we've been talking about. As you guys know, we're getting a new terms of service agreement February 28th. And for a lot of you players, if you don't accept, for every 2K player, if they don't accept these new terms of service, you will no longer have access to the game that you already purchased. We're getting new terms of service mid-annual cycle for 2K24. And if you guys decline that terms of service, you're not going to be able to access 2K24. Point blank, period. How do you guys feel about that? Sound off in the comment section below. It says NBA 2K players buy virtual currency with real money to in turn buy in-game cosmetics and other digital perks in games. Take-Two and 2K were sued in federal court in California in November by a minor who was represented by his mother. They're not the first to sue over video game microtransactions, but such suit usually involve questions about whether in-game loot boxes constitute gambling. And that's one of my main issues with 2K, is that it's like rated E for everyone, if I'm not mistaken, and there's no restrictions on keeping young players away from the game. And these young players could spend tons of their parents' money on microtransactions, and 2K will take all that money and then shut the door in your grill like, homie, that was fake anyway. I don't know why you're spending that money. Man, I tell you, I feel real strongly that these huge development companies like 2K, there needs to be proper regulations set in place in this gaming industry, because they're just running away with tons of money. And here go their lawyers coming in to just let the entire player base know VC They're fictions, false realities created by the game publishers. And they end that statement off by saying, subject to the publisher's terms of service and user agreement, which I personally made sure the entire 2K community was completely aware of. When we accept the current terms of service right now, if you guys are playing 2K right now, you have already accepted these terms of service, saying that none of this property is yours. And if you so happen to lose this digital asset that you paid for, 2K is not liable and they're not obligated to refund you or do anything about it. I know a lot of players feel like if they make an in-game transaction that 2K is responsible for keeping that transaction secure to their account, at the very least for the iteration of that cycle of 2K. As you guys know, that My Team debacle that was huge where players' accounts were deleted. I also reported that some people were able to get the good majority of their account back. Not everything, by the way, but then some players were not even nearly as lucky and they barely got anything back. All they get is a sorry from 2K support. For a lot of us, we may not feel the ramifications from this legality with the terms of service, but if I put myself in these players' shoes, knowing that I spent a ton of money for these digital assets and they tell me, hey, sorry man, ain't nothing we could do, sorry you lost your stuff, I'd probably be fuming inside. I'd also feel like I was bullied and taken advantage of. The fact is, we know we make these microtransactions, and for a lot of us, we make them with the very little that we have. And here comes 2K cold-heartedly denying any type of obligation to retain me as a consumer. And I want to wrap this up by saying, if we know this to be fact now, should we continue to be consumers on 2K? We will be going live a little later on today to talk some more about this stuff. Y'all be sure to tune in. Y'all be sure to keep it locked. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join our Discord. We'd love to have you. The link for Discord will be in the description below. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and y'all be sure to keep it locked right here at AllCity Live TV, because we got a bunch more NBA 2K24 news, information, and updates coming your way. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Easy, y'all.